Hello again, my name's Gabe Zona. You know, I've spent a fair amount of time trying to do a little research and dig into this missing Malaysian Flight 370. And some of this might be of interest to my viewers. The aircraft that was delivered back in 2002 to Malaysian Airlines is and was a Boeing 777, model number 2H6ER. Now, this airplane came equipped with four 406 megahertz ELTs. And these ELTs are designed to reach out and communicate with satellites upon impact or contact with water. Now, there is one caveat. If the airplane sank pretty much immediately, the ELTs would not have been able to connect. But the possibility of that happening is virtually impossible. And the reason that is that's why there's four of them. And again, they are activated either by impact or by coming in contact with water. So, since that didn't happen, we have to sort of wonder what did happen. I went ahead and did some additional research, and I want to provide this to maybe help people understand why I believe that the airplane was indeed hijacked. The airplane has what's called ACARS. One data communication solution Boeing Airplanes uses is the Aircraft Communication and Address and Reporting System, again ACARS. It enables an airplane to transmit small amounts of data. An example would be short messages or compact fault codes to the ground and ground personnel to send short messages to airplanes. One of the reasons that it does this, as I had stated in previous videos as well, is if a component is going to fail on an engine, it gives the manufacturer and the airlines times to dispatch another component to replace the failing component at the airport where the airplane is planning to land. And naturally that dramatically reduces the turnaround time, and it reduces the amount of time that the airplane will be out of service. All right, prescribed formatted text data can be transmitted via ACARS. Such data could include short written messages, airplane position. Airplane position, what do you think that means? It means the GPS coordinates as to where that aircraft is. Certain event times such as takeoffs and landings. And predefined or customized system reports. So they could go beyond that, but what this again says is that ACARS does transmit takeoffs and landings, which would indicate that both of those occurred, since the plane could not have crashed. The airplane transmits information to ground stations over VHF radio, satellites, or in limited situations, HF radio, via data service providers, DSP, networks such as those managed by ARINC and SITA. The DSPs then route the data to airplane operator centers. Some of these airplanes generated reports may also be forwarded by the DSP to other destinations as dedicated by the airplane operator. So, what does that all really mean? Well, it means that this airplane would have transmitted its location, it would have transmitted pertinent data as it pertains to its engine's performance, and it would have transmitted when it first took off as well as when it landed. Now, I've speculated that the airplane was hijacked and it landed at Diego Garcia, which is a United States naval military base in the Indian Ocean. And we know that the 777 had sufficient fuel on board to make it to Diego Garcia. We were also told earlier that when the FBI first reported what they found on the captain's home flight simulator, that there were 5 airports that he appeared to be practicing approaches on. One of them, if I recall correctly, was Diego Garcia. Why would anybody be practicing approaches on a military base? I don't know. You tell me. And then you tell me why we were later told, when the hard drive of that flight simulator was sent to Virginia, to the FBI laboratories, they weren't able to retrieve any data. Which one is it? Will we ever learn the truth? I don't know. What I do know is that I do not believe that the airplane crashed. I do not believe that the captain committed suicide. There's too many strange anomalies that took place. His wife and his children, or his child, had moved out of the family home the day prior to the flight. I don't think the co-pilot had a clue, because the co-pilot withdrew some funds prior to the departure. He wouldn't have done that if he had intentions of crashing the plane or hijacking the plane. The only one that's left is the captain. And I gotta believe, since he comes from a Muslim country, he might have been called upon to participate in a form of jihad. I don't know. But the airplane, I don't believe crashed. The airplane, I believe, did send back the information as to its whereabouts. The airplane did send back a ping that it landed. And all of that is being kept secret. Why do you think that is? If you have any other ideas, let me know. I told you the research that I've done, and I've provided you with the best information that I presently have available. If you have any more, please let me know. If it's pertinent to this topic, I'll be certain to let my viewers know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And let's say a special prayer for all those souls that I believe are lost on Malaysian Flight 370.